Gracias.
Que como están pretendiendo, están cocinando, y también ellos empiezan a no ver cómo las cosas de casa vienen a la escuela. Oh, mi mamá cocina con esto. Ok, dime, ¿qué comidas tu mamá cocina con esto? Y entonces ahí empiezan ellos a desarrollar. Me dice, bueno, mi mamá lo hace con arroz y le echa esto. Las niñas son más, y hablan más, el lenguaje de ella es más agudo que los varoncitos. Los varoncitos le coge tiempo de desarrollarse, pero es normal. Es como todo
Can I have your attention, please? Will the mother of Julian Sanchez please report to the gymnasium?
¿Es usted?
The mother of Julian Sanchez please report to the gymnasium. And Latoya Wade, please report to the security desk. Latoya Wade, please report to the security desk. Thank you.
Entonces en esas características que ven, entonces ahí la maestra empieza a decir, pues vamos entonces a aplicarla en el juego dramático. Otra cosa que quiero también hablarle es cuando ellos ven, eso se llama el pre-awareness, cosas que ellos pueden decir, pues vamos a hacer una torta, vamos a poner manzanas, bananos, donde va en el horno. Entonces la maestra le dice, ok, vamos a añadir todas las measuring cups, que son estas aquí. Entonces ellos están aprendiendo en esa etapa números, ¿con cuánto? Y la maestra le dice, ¿cuánto podemos echarle a la cup? Arroz o leche o aceite o mantequilla para hacerlo todo en el pack y ponerlo en el horno. Otra cosa que quiero también hablarle es de los libros. Los libros, los niños, ellos lo cogen, los leen, pretenden de leerlo. Algunos saben cómo las letras, ya reconocen las letras. Y entonces ellos vienen a la maestra y le dicen, yo reconozco esta letra, y la maestra le dice, muy bien, ¿me puedes decir una palabra, otra palabra que tú puedes decirme diferente a la que ellos reconocen? Con sus nombres, ellos conocen la primera letra o todas las letras en sus nombres. ¿Quiere añadir algo usted?
Sí, yo soy la family worker hace 15 años, pero yo era maestra también en preescolar.
Okay.
Y los papás muchas veces tienen conceptos que vienen al salón de clase y ven a los niños jugando en la área, especialmente en el área de dramatic play, área dramática. Sí. Pero es que el niño que va a la escuela a jugar. No, los niños aprenden a través del juego. Ellos en esa área aprenden matemáticas, cantidad, más, menos, mucho, poco, los colores, aprenden a vestirse como la mamá con taquitos, los papás con su gabacha, harina. Por eso que nuestras tienen muchas cosas hasta de la casa en esa área. Y aprenden a desarrollar muchísimo su vocabulario.
¿Se tiene que ir?
No.
¿No? ¿Todo está bien?
Sí, todo está bien.
Ok. Sí, yo escucho eso, que los padres a veces piensan que jugar, no, pero están desarrollando, como les dije, están desarrollando el lenguaje, están desarrollando sus emociones, sus características, cómo se pueden expresar, cómo podemos hablar unos a los otros. Socializarse, exactamente, gracias.
For being with us. My name is Carmen Davis, and this is and we actually work for the Camden School District. Our role for the Camden School District is to come to different preschool classrooms and support them in making sure that they're following the state guidelines, making sure that they're supporting your children that they're coming into our site, into our school, and making sure that their learning experiences are through hands-on experiences. So today you're going to have an opportunity to do that as well today. So today we're going to talk about science, right? We really want to see how can we create little scientists, right? Those children that are going to soon become those individuals that get rid of diabetes. Imagine that, not having to ever deal with diabetes. Or even imagine the idea of saying, cancer? What? What is cancer? There's been so many other illnesses that we've been able to accomplish. And you know what? That type of exploration, that type of saving the world comes from this beginning, okay? How can we explore that scientific mind? And so what role you can play.
Pardon the interruption. There are a set of keys that are missing. If anyone would check your purse or your belongings just to make sure that you didn't pick up the wrong set of keys at the front table, I would appreciate you looking for them now. Looking for a set of keys with a leather braid on them. Thank you.
So we want to kind of give you empowerment while we are in the classrooms and promoting science and exploration. We wanted to give you some ideas of things that you might be able to do at home. And so when we think about our early childhood classes, our preschool classrooms, your 3 or 5-year-old to 4-year-old children, we actually think about the scientific method. A lot of times you're thinking, really? You have them even think about that process? But we really do. And the way we do that is through actual materials. And so by all means, you might see the cans of sodas on the table. We don't provide them actually for our children just because it might be some safety issues. However, since we're all adults here and we are able to monitor our children that are with us, we're going to be able to use an activity based on the scientific method, okay? And so are you wondering what you're going to do with the cans of soda yet? You know what, a lot of times our students, when they're in front of their classroom teachers or they have different activities, they have that wondering. Do you ever hear them saying, why? Why? Do you get your children saying why a lot? Yeah. And you think, oh my gosh, just stop asking me already. And sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming, those why questions. But those are the why questions that we want them to ask, okay? And so those are the why questions that are going to be able to save someone's life, who's going to be able to give a cure. And so that's what we want to promote. We want those why questions. And we want them to explore asking those questions. Think about what we might do. So can you think about what we might do with these can of sodas? Anybody? Obviously not drink them because I already did that. Any ideas? Nothing comes to mind? So we actually provide opportunities for our students to be able to sit down and think about, well, what are we going to do with these materials, okay? So a lot of times you might see in the classroom seashells, okay? You might see different materials for compost, and Watt's going to talk a little bit about that. But we want them to have those ideas of, oh, I wonder why that's happening. The I wonder questions, and make their predictions. So, Watt, do you want to add anything else about the hypothesis?
So now we make hypothesis. But first, in order to present anything, you have to have something to make a hypothesis. At home, you're like, I don't have the material like the teacher have in the classroom. Okay, you have this stuff at home, don't you? You have dirt outside your ground. You have all of the bananas in. So you just dig it in, put in the jar, just compose them. And then you have paper, stick to it, pencil, pen, and then just first day, present it. And then the children will look at it, asking what is in here. And then a week later, let's start to observe it again. What's going on? What's happening? And then you predict. This is where you're making the predict. And then you conduct the experiment. And then later on you draw conclusions. What's going to happen 3 months later from now? What's going to happen? You know? And then the purpose. Why are we composting? Because to save our earth, make good for the soil, and good for the decomposer animal. They're eating the compost stuff.
So obviously we want to give you a lot of ideas of things that you might have already at home. One of the other things.
Parents, if you have a child, a 3-year-old son by the name of Kenneth, please come to the main office at this time. If you have a 3-year-old son named Kenneth, please come to the office at this time. Thank you.
So just simple bottles that you might have at home, talking about the combination of the different colors. These are all items that you can have at your house, right? Some things that you might be able to explore with children individually if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to make it a long activity project like the compost.
And because we want to teach the children to use all 5 senses, the first senses we just talked about is the sight, right? But the first before, in order to get the sight, is the tasting, because you eat all of this, you save some of the stuff, you throw away some of the stuff, so that's your tasting, so using that. And now, as Carmen just presenting, these are the basic bottles that you have at home. You can use the same size of bottle, different lengths of water. Now you can do experiment because each volume of water will create or generate different sound. Now you have not only scientists coming, you will have a musician also, right? And then you play around. So if I put more water, I wonder what happened if I add more water. I wonder what would happen if I add less water. And you have oil at home, you can add oil. And then, but make sure you tape it so it won't come out. And then you experiment to see whether the oil and water, do they combine or do they separate?
Alright, so now that we talked about some ideas that you can explore and what is to have that science mind, put on your scientific hat on. I know it sounds so corny. Can I have everybody just be corny with me?
Yes.
Put your scientific hats on. Okay. So we want you to be able to be those scientists. You want your children to be little scientists. We want to promote those explorations. So what we want you to do is at this moment, and we have some volunteers. You want to rub some of the balloons on any. Where's Tatiana and Tilina? Volunteers, can I have you guys? And you can rub. What I want you to do is, you follow the directions coming up. On your table, you should have cans available. You also have balloons. If you can have enough energy, blow up the balloon, make a knot, and put it into a knot. And what you're gonna do is you can, Tatiana, you can rub the balloons on anyone's hair, rub it really, really hard. And then what I want you to do is the can that you have, put it on the side of the table, and then I want you to bring the balloon close to the can and see what happens. What do you think is going to happen when I do that? You think it's going to what? You think it's going to pop? You think it's going to stick? Okay. Who has another prediction? What do you think is going to happen? You need some balloons?
No, we have one.
Static. You want to help her? Rub it on your hair. You can rub it on her hair. We already told them. We practiced already. Who wants to rub on the hair? Right here. Put it on the side. So here, I'm going to show you. You ready? Yeah, get it in there really, really good. So like if you have knots in it, it's really, really good. Your hair should have like a static shock almost. Is it up yet? No? Is it up yet? Oh, okay, then it's perfect. Alright, so look. Are you guys ready?
You're supposed to sit on top of that?
This table. What happened with this table? Ready? Let's see what happens. What is happening?
So now you're talking about the stick, right?
So some of you thought it's going to stick to it, right? So when we think about science, we want children to have this type of experience, hands-on experiences, and then also make a prediction of what you think is going to happen. And then of course we're thinking, oh yeah, we're adults, we can figure this out. Did you guys figure it out? Not necessarily, right? So I want you to try something else now. With your balloon, find another candidate to rub the balloon really, really hard. And I want you to take a tissue paper, break it into little pieces, put it on your table. Really, really hard. Put it, oopsie daisy. There you go. You want to grab a tissue paper? Here you go. Rub it really good. I mean, I should see your hair like
By the time you get out of this workshop,
you should look like Frankenstein somehow. Yeah, you might need a hairbrush after this. Break it into little pieces. Here, I'm giving you guys a real good one right now. This is going to be real.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Miriam Torres, mi compañera es Kiara Esteves. Estamos representando el programa de prevención de asma pediátrico del Hispanic Family Center, que queda al sur de Nueva Jersey. Me imagino que todos conocen dónde está y lo que es el Hispanic Family Center. Okay. El Hispanic Family Center ha estado proporcionando servicios desde el 1976. Comenzó como una pequeña organización en el norte de Camden. Se ha convertido en una agencia integral bilingüe que provee servicios sociales. Algunos de los servicios que ofrecemos es el desarrollo de trabajo, asistencia de energía, centro de éxito de la familia de Camden, consejería sobre la violencia doméstica, ESL, las clases, ¿verdad? Son clases cívicas, prevención del VIH, prevención del asma pediátrica y lo más importante que todos los servicios son gratis y no tienen costo.
Ahora vamos a hablar
qué es el asma. El asma causa que las vías respiratorias se estrechen a causa de la inflamación o hinchazón de las membranas pulmonares, incrementación de la producción de moco, contracción de los músculos alrededor de las vías respiratorias. El asma causa serias complicaciones respiratorias. La buena noticia es que se puede controlar. Vamos a hablar ahora acerca de unos mitos y unas realidades. Les voy a leer unas frases y ustedes, de acuerdo a lo que ustedes creen y sepan, me van a contestar si es un mito o una realidad. El asma está solo en su cabeza. ¿Eso es un mito o una realidad? Muy bien, eso es solamente un mito. El asma es una enfermedad que afecta a las vías respiratorias, pero eso no es psicológico. Es realidad. Muy bien. Los medicamentos del asma dejan de funcionar con el tiempo. Sí, es un mito. Los medicamentos para el asma siguen siendo un tratamiento eficaz si se usan regularmente y como se indica. Muy bien, es una realidad. Las personas con asma deben evitar la actividad física. Muy bien, eso es un mito. La meta de cualquier persona con asma debe ser vivir una vida normal y saludable que incluya el ejercicio. Realidad. Usted puede superar el asma. Realidad. Eso es un mito. Es un mito. Por último, el asma es una condición permanente, pero puede mejorar con la edad. Realidad. Sí, es una realidad. De acuerdo, ¿verdad? Si la persona sigue su tratamiento y sus medicamentos tal como lo dice el doctor, pues es una enfermedad que es una condición que con el tiempo se puede mejorar y pues puede vivir una vida normal la persona. No le impide nada. Ahora vamos a hablar sobre los síntomas más comunes del asma. Estos son como los síntomas más frecuentes que podemos observar en los niños. Hay más, pero estos son como, diría yo, los más que nosotros como padres podemos ver en nuestros niños. La tos por la noche, opresión en el pecho o dolor, sentir fatiga y dificultad para respirar o la respiración muy rápida. Diagnóstico de asma. Un profesional médico hace un diagnóstico de asma después de revisar su historia médica, completar un examen físico, realizar pruebas de respiración, utilizar un medidor de flujo máximo y la espirometría. El plan de tratamiento del asma, que es esa hoja que ven a su mano derecha, eso es lo que el plan de tratamiento que todo niño debe tener, ¿verdad?, en su escuela, porque ahí les indica qué medicina va a tomar, cuánta medicina va a tomar, cuándo va a tomar el medicamento, qué hacer en caso de emergencia y qué cosas desencadenan el asma de su niño, si es el moho, los animales, la caspa, el polvo o los olores fuertes, que eso es lo que mayormente pues afecta a los niños para que se les desencadene un ataque de asma. Y abajo tenemos la ley de Nueva Jersey, que requiere que todos los estudiantes con asma tengan un plan de tratamiento del asma en el archivo con la enfermera de su escuela. Eso es muy importante. Ahora, pues, colocando todas las piezas juntas. El asma no controlada puede tener un impacto negativo en el rendimiento escolar, en la educación física y el rendimiento académico. Usted puede ayudar al niño con asma de manera exitosa si tiene conversaciones abiertas con su niño acerca de su asma, educa al niño sobre cómo tener un mejor manejo del asma, mantenerlo consciente de sus desencadenantes y cómo evitarlos, informar a todo el mundo que tienen que ser conscientes del asma de su hijo y asegurando que su hijo siempre tiene sus medicamentos y que la enfermera tiene su plan de tratamiento del asma. Ahora pues vamos a hablar un poquito de algunos de los desencadenantes ambientales más comunes. Un desencadenante es algo que puede empeorar el asma. Pues lo que mayormente, pues, lo más que le da asma a las personas es el polen. Siempre hay polen. El humo de segunda mano. Siempre le afecta más a la persona que está al lado que a la persona que está fumando. El moho. La contaminación del aire, que también se ve mucho. Los olores fuertes. Mayormente pues los detergentes que utilizamos en nuestro hogar mayormente tienen olores muy fuertes y pues eso puede desencadenar un episodio de asma en el niño. La caspa de los animales, el polvo, los ácaros de polvo y el ejercicio. Un cambio de hábitos puede evitar la exposición a desencadenantes ambientales. Por lo menos, mayormente a los niños les gusta tener sus peluches, sus osos, sus juguetes. Pues mayormente con este tipo de juguetes deberíamos lavarlos con frecuencia y sobre todo secarlos y que estén completamente secos.
Hard to look at yourself and understand how you're feeling. Some children may be angry, you may want to say, hey, why don't you go look at the mirror? Take a look at how you look. If you're angry, why are you so angry? And then we can figure out a way to problem solve. But this little girl, we showed a little picture to the kids. Here's a little boy. This is all about identifying emotions. We can look at this clearly because we're adults and we can say, oh my goodness, this little girl looks sad. But for some little kids, they don't understand the difference with facial expressions. And with these pictures, they can clearly see we're talking about it in the classroom. Maybe if another student didn't have anything that they really thought about it, maybe another student's response might have sparked a little something in them to get them thinking about it. So we can talk about, you know, looking at these children's faces, what do we see? We see her eyes are looking down. Her face is not really smiling. She's frowning in her cheeks. Does she have happy cheeks or does she have sad cheeks? It looks like she has sad cheeks. Why might somebody be sad in the classroom? Maybe they wanted to play in the block area and it was full. Maybe they wanted to paint and they didn't have the certain color that they wanted. There's a whole slew of reasons of why children may have these emotions. But it's important to identify them first and then understand what can we do to make them feel better. And sometimes some of the friends in the classroom can help students feel better. If they're feeling sad, we talk about ways where they can maybe make a student feel happier. That's a little sad. And these cards definitely help with that. There are discussion points on the back, which is what the teachers use. So they're not winging it when they're up here. It's definitely a curriculum where there's something in place where it's giving them a script. And literally this says, yesterday you learned that one way to tell how people feel is to look at their faces. So it tells you everything that you need to know. And then the other thing that we can use are the puppets. They definitely help with that. So we use our feelings chart, friendship skills and problem solving. Here are some other cards that we use. Saying please, it seems like, you know, one of the golden rules, but it is something that has to be meaningful and taught. Another one is asking for something nicely. Sometimes you may hear people say, or you may see children playing and maybe there's only one blue marker. This happens in my classroom, or maybe there's a whole bunch of blue markers, but just one child wants that particular marker that's in another student's hand. So they may just grab it, but they have to ask nicely. Some adults may say, oh, you can't snatch. Snatching is a more purposeful act. I feel like little children just don't have the skills, and it's our job as adults to teach them so that they can be successful in life and in the classroom. So that's asking nicely. Another one is to get a teacher. Sometimes there's a situation where children can't handle it themselves because it may be too much, or maybe the emotions are too strong. So you may have to ask a teacher, and that's another thing. Raising your hand and speaking to someone. It's the beginning of the school year, and there's some children that are still a little nervous to talk to the teacher. But if you can't talk to a teacher, maybe you may feel comfortable enough to talk to another friend in the classroom. And that's all about building the friendship skills, building the relationship skills. Another one saying, please stop. Sometimes students are doing things and they will just let somebody keep messing with them, or they will complain about it. And all they have to do is learn to talk to the other person and say, stop. I don't like that. It seems like something that's very simple, but it definitely has to be intentionally taught. And ignoring children. Sometimes as adults we have to ignore the things that we don't like, and children have to do that as well. And this is a card where we intentionally teach that. Getting a timer, this is great for students that need to learn how to take turns. It's a little bit difficult, and sometimes saying, oh, just wait a minute is not good enough. They need something that they can clearly see in a timer. When you hear a ding, ooh, I know that it's my turn now. And I don't have to cry. I just have to wait for the bell to ding, and then I know that I can take a turn. After we usually go through all these cards, we may have I always have this hanging up in my block area. This is a problem-solving wheel. So after you would have gone over all those individual cards throughout the school year, A child may be able to go to the sign and just say, I'm having an issue, instead of immediately going to a teacher. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of children that if they have an issue or if they can't find something, they immediately go to their mother, or they may immediately go to their father, whoever is nearest to them, whatever adult. But if they can learn some skills and problem solve on their own, then they'll be a little bit more independent, learning those friendship and problem solving skills. So they can take a look around the wheel, and it's a lot of the stuff that we pretty much already talked about. Letting things go, ignoring them, telling someone to stop, maybe doing another activity, maybe playing rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to get a turn first. Waiting and cooling off, ignoring things and talking about them out loud. We encourage children to talk about their feelings, so that's why we're constantly referring to these posters around the room. If someone is standing around upset, it's important for the adult to go up to the person and say, what's going on? Maybe something happened that we didn't hear. Maybe something happened that we didn't see. There's 15 children in the room. There's only 2. In my classroom, there's only 2 adults. So a lot of things can happen. There's a lot of conversations going around because there's so many areas where the children are involved in. And sometimes there's issues and they need a little assistance. So we have to make sure that we're assisting them and giving them that language and modeling what is appropriate for them. And I'm feeling like that is pretty much it. Did anybody have any questions about social emotional skills? Yes?
Is there something that we should, like phrases that we should expect to hear or that we should reinforce at home? Like, handouts or something?
Well, I guess it depends on the teacher. Usually when you're going over a card, for my classroom, I use the Class Dojo app. I kind of say that it's like the Facebook of schooling, so I can message my parents, I can talk about what's going on in the classroom. And if I feel like there's a skill that maybe needs to be addressed with a few students, then I will let the parents know through the Class Dojo app, because I can message the parents, we can have a dialogue about whatever they need. And I always ask parents, if there's an issue that you need to work on, maybe there's a, maybe there's a child and they're having an issue getting along with their brother and sister at home. And then that could be a private little conversation, maybe not a whole group scenario. But there are definitely phrases that I like to use in my classroom. Everybody's different and they kind of don't give you a quick list of phrases. But I always say in my classroom, we're all friends here. I don't want to hear the arguing. I don't want to hear the fighting. I have a classroom of calm peace. That's the way I like it. And I feel like as little people, you should learn to be respectful. You should learn to be appropriate. And when situations arise, we have to use the skills that we have been practicing. This one really doesn't show it, but there's other cards where you may see 2 little kids fighting. And it's helpful for other kids to see that so that they understand that you may not have to keep going in the way that you have been going. Maybe you may hurt another child, and maybe after you've been hearing me in the classroom saying, oh, we have helping hands. That's why we're constantly going over the rules. Structure, rules, consistency is key for preschoolers. They need to hear it over and over and over again. I say the rules all the time, every day. Constantly going over fair ways to play. That's why these posters are amazing to have in the classroom, because you can always reference them.
With the second step curriculum, there is a home links portion, and what that is, it gives the parents the opportunity to reinforce the skills that were worked on for that week of school. So all it does is, if the skill for the week was sharing, there's a paper that you'll get home that can tell you all about what they did in school and different ways that they can share at home and different activities you can do with the family, with your child at home. And also, if you have an area, like a social emotional area that you feel that your child has a need for concern, all you have to do is speak to your teacher. Your teacher can get support from her team, and they can give you strategies that you can use at home for social emotional areas.
Here we go. I'm Michelle. I am your presenter tonight. Just a quick, brief history about myself. I came into Camden City School District in 1997 as a part-time paraprofessional. I was RIF'd and what they call a reduction in force, and in 1999 I went to Gamma Early Head Start at East Camden, where I was a paraprofessional for a year. Then I became a preschool teacher in 2000. From 2000 to 2006, I taught preschool. Then I came in district in 2006. I taught 2nd grade, 1st grade, 5 years, and I'm currently back at preschool for the 3rd year. So basically going on about 19, 20 years in education. My presentation to you tonight is circle time. What I'm going to tell you, you can actually emulate at home. Just have fun with it. We don't want to have our children think, come on, sit down, sit down, sit down, let's do this, because I said so. Come on, let's have fun. Let's, act like you're in school. Let's pretend we're having circle time. So what happens is, generally after breakfast, the students will get up from the table, they'll go to the library and they'll read a book until the teacher gives some kind of signal, a transition song. It could be it's time to come to circle, to circle, to circle. So you see over here is the library. So if they're getting up from their table and they go here and she says it's time to come to circle for that transition song, they put their things back. Her circle time will take place over here. So if you want to come over here and just see briefly what a circle time area looks like, you can come over here. So in some rooms, they have generally a big carpet. They might say, okay, let me see, one of these students' names, Deani. I want you to sit on the letter O. So that might be Deani's spot. So you try to give them some room so they can see what you're doing. Once you do that, you might introduce yourself again, or you might say, guess who came to school today? And you go around and get everybody's attention. Once you get everybody's attention, teachers have the radio here or the smart board. So you can either do the morning song, good morning again, either radio or smart board. You can do the ABC song, you can do the number rock, you can do the days of the week, however you want to transition. Once you transition from that activity, you want to go into what we call a morning message or question of the day, which will be based off of your study. In my classroom, I'm currently doing a box study. So with the box study, you want to come with a question. So you guys can sit back there. I don't want you standing. So I'm currently doing a box study. So instead of me having a regular morning message, I might want to start with my question of the day that is geared towards my study. So it says, I can read, so you want to model too for our students. We want to read from left to right, and we want to say, what can you do with boxes? It's just a simple question, what can you do with boxes? We want to have a conversation with our students. And you can call them up one at a time, and they can answer the question, or you can point to them, and you can ask them the question, what can you do with boxes? It's just their idea. They can say, oh, we can put boxes on the roof. Accept that answer. There's no right or wrong answer when our children are talking to us. We can put boxes, we can make houses with boxes. Okay, we can make a car with boxes. You write. If Johnny tell you that's what he wants, that's what you write. Then once you finish your whole entire discussion and shared conversation, you can have them turn to each other. Well, you can talk with them some more and say, well, this is my idea on boxes. Share your idea. Allow them to share it with you. Okay. Now, once you get finished this conversation can continue in a small area that the teachers will continue with at home. That's part of the circle time. Now, if you don't want to do a question of the day, if the teacher doesn't want to do a question of the day that day, she might do what we call message time plus. Okay, so we do a morning message, but when we do that message time plus, it's coming with a word for the week. So when we come for the word for the week, now we're talking about introducing high frequency words, as well as teaching them how to read left and right, and how to recognize letters and words, and then eventually recognize the whole word as we go along. So the same thing that we're doing here, you can do at home, just with a piece of paper. Come on, let's sit down. Let's write some sentences, in a quick sentence, because the older they get and the more mature they get, the more you can write. But you want to, we start off slow. It could be just 4 words in a sentence that includes this high frequency word. So I'm going to introduce this high frequency word, and I'm going to say to them, we. Now, I can go like this. I'm going to cheer, okay? Don't matter. I'm going to cheer. W-E spells we. And kids learn through music. So when we're talking in classroom, we're trying to get them to memorize it. If they can say that rap song to you, you can teach this to them to a beat. Okay, so, huh?
I said to record you saying that I can show somebody. Because somebody say that my daughter can learn ABCs, but I say she can sing that song, she can learn the ABCs.
Oh, absolutely. She can say the song, she can sing. Yes. So even when it comes to spelling their name, teach it to a beat. They will learn. So as you